Yeah. What do you guys peruse when you poop? That's a good one to start with, actually. What do you look at when you're pooping?
Twitter.
You look at
Oh,
Twitter.
you're gonna like this answer. Nothing.
Whoa. Okay, we'll come back to that, psychopath.
And I'll tell you why.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get
back to that.
But let's start it off. Hello, welcome to the 1 to 10 podcast. Another episode. I start with a pattern of like, no matter if I'm on the toilet to like use the bathroom in any way, whether it's like just taking a sit down wee for a little while, and taking a break from the world, or like actually taking a shit. I go to Twitter and then I go to Facebook and then I go to Reddit, like in that order. And if I get bored with Reddit, I go to the Google like filtered like.
How
news
long
stories.
are your poops for? I think that's another factor.
Well, right. So every morning I poop. Like first thing I do in the morning. That's what every day.
Yeah. Can we get an APT, average poop time?
I'd say it's about 30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay. Damn.
That's when I poop.
Yeah.
I don't poop the rest of the day. I poop in the morning.
Oh, you only poop once a day?
Usually. Yeah,
okay.
Sometimes twice, but it's usually once.
So I'm a 3-time-a-day pooper.
But I get to this screen. Occasionally it gets dangerous, where it's just the Google filtered.
Yeah,
stories.
random. Okay, I see what you mean.
But that's where I get a lot of our ideas from.
That's like hitting shuffle.
Yeah, that's right.
It works.
Okay, so I'm.
Yeah, why don't you look at anything? What's going on?
And so I'm a speed pooper. And and my thing is
all
it's
business.
Like, and I'm all for that. When I'm hungover, I'll sit on the toilet and think about my sins, and I'll be on Reddit or whatever. I'm all for that. So I would say Reddit when it does happen.
Sure.
But it's generally like if I'm hungover, that's the only time I have a real struggle passing. Pushing one out. So I'm like, I'll sit down and be out in and out as quick as possible. So there's really not much time for me to fiddle with my phone and like mess around.
That makes a lot of sense actually. That kind of matches your personality type too. I know of you. Like that makes a lot of sense. It's very efficient.
Yeah. I show up and I get my business done and I get back to the game and begin.
Do you fold or crumple your toilet paper?
You have to answer what you already kind of answer what you do. Look at
it depends on the quality. It depends on the quality because if it's real shitty, it really doesn't matter, and I just kind of ham fist it together.
I say,
but
if it's
always. Nice, I fold.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say wait. You said you nice. If it's nice, you fold.
If it's not nice, I just take my hands like in one of these and do a.
So you fold it.
That's a fold.
I fold, but it's more of a roll. It's not like when I have a nice piece of paper.
Yeah, we're talking about the savages who
like
wad it up in their hand as
no.
Those guys are generous.
Usually I'm like a perfect fold person, but if it's a shitty one, I was
gonna say I'm a folder because of the same reasons of what you said. That like quality toilet paper, it can only increase, right? If it's bad, then you definitely.
It feels so nice if you actually fold it.
Yeah, but if it's like real nice toilet paper, it's like you want to get a nice little fold.
Yeah.
The question is if you have really nice toilet paper, how many squares you taking per like thing?
Ooh, I try to be economical and like maybe just get like a 1 and then fold over, or maybe 1 or like 3 at the most.
Danger, brother.
No, I buy Cottonelle, so I don't have to worry about my fingers slipping through.
I mean, I'm not worried about my fingers slipping through. It's just more about like how durable is that toilet paper really?
Yeah.
And what kind of?
Well, how fucking hard are you yanking it back there?
So I
fucking ripping it like a chainsaw, brother.
I use flushable wet wipes.
Okay, I went through a phase of doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it wouldn't be for the bidet, then I probably would be. We do have a bidet in one.
I mean, a bidet changes the answer so much. Yeah. You can get away.
Oh,
what happened?
What happened?
Oh, this thing fell out of the plug.
That would definitely be it.
Yeah, technical issues.
I mean, it's still recorded.
Whoa.
Everything. Whoa!
We're back.
I mean, we were never gone.
Yeah.
Just a small little thingy being moved over.
I think it's because it's hooked.
Disturbed never dies.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. It's like wrapped into my chair.
I believe it may. I don't know.
It's fine. It's working now. We have the sound back.
And we're back.
If you have a bidet, I feel like you can just use less toilet paper.
Yeah, I mean, like the reality is that like often if my shit is bad, then I just use that toilet to wash my ass afterward, and it's fine.
Yeah,
but how often is it that bad? Not usually.
That's fair.
But I will say this: there is no feeling like no matter how many wet wipes you use, if it's a really particularly bad day. And you use that bidet after, like that dirty butt you felt like you had, like even internally, it's not dirty anymore. You feel better.
Yeah.
See, and the other thing is, I've always wanted to ask this: when you eat spicy food, I bet it's even better. You know what I mean? Like when it comes out,
100%, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I could just imagine how that
linger burn
must be nice.
Gone. Linger burn is gone because all that acid that is sitting on your little rectum is getting fucking washed off.
I like to feel the burn, so I know how I stand. You know. It's like a self-flogging.
No. Yeah, hurts going in.
I used to feel that way
maybe.
until I developed acid reflux, and then it's both coming out and then like also coming back up, and it hurts.
Yeah, the heartburn ain't fun.
No, it's not. But it did show me a
and
better
this
way.
episode brought to you by Tums.
Yeah,
cool your heartburn off with
Tums and
cool glass of
unironically we're all cracking liquid deaths again, and now this week we're doing the Berry It Alive berry seltzer water flavor, boys.
Right.
Mine's not cracked, but I'm a daily drinker of this. What do you guys think?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good, man.
It's a step up from the original, but like the original is still more than fine.
Did I tell you I got carded for this case?
What?
Yeah, the lady thought it was a case of beer.
I mean, I could see why.
It tastes like LaCroix.
It does, but it tastes better than LaCroix.
It definitely tastes better than LaCroix.
It's a little bit of a stronger flavor, but I still don't know if it's good.
So this is more of like a mellow, soft sound.
All right, hold on.
Summer, and LaCroix is a whisper.
I'm gonna make 1 to 10. What do you rate it?
Oh, that?
Yeah.
That particular flavor.
Yep.
10 for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's a strong 10 too, because I don't like seltzer waters particularly usually, even like the sparkling waters that they had back in like, 90s and 2000s and stuff. I've always been like, not really. But I can not drink a soda and drink that, and I feel good.
Okay. For me, if it's just flavored waters,
and I need a little bubbly.
If it's just flavored waters, this is probably like a 7. But if it's like just seltzer waters, this is probably the best one I've ever had.
It's good. It's good.
You know
what about you, man?
That's fair. Unalcoholic salt. It tastes to me like a White Claw without the liquor in it. You know what I mean?
Thank God.
Yeah.
But
that's what it reminds me. Like it's just that artificial like.
Yeah. I get you.
But it's not bad. I would probably give it like a 5 or 6 just overall.
Respect.
Just like
I
drink it
that's
while
like
I
a
eat
median
some food.
score above each of us to it. Like
Dude drinks
7.
a Coke and he's like, this just tastes like a whiskey Coke.
No, I drink. Right, where's the whiskey in this? No, I drink a Coke at home and I'd be like, man, this shit busting.
How do you guys feel about you ever had like the glass bottle Mexican Cokes?
Oh, those are good.
They're made with cane sugar instead of fucking corn syrup.
Fire.
I'll do you one better. Yoo-hoo Mountain Dew.
Excuse me?
Yoo-hoo Mountain Dew.
Like you mix Yoo-hoo with Mountain Dew?
No, Yoo-hoo Mountain Dew is a type of Mountain Dew that was made with real cane sugar as well. And it was insane.
Oh, yeah. They also still have that. It's like just Mountain Dew Classic now.
Yeah, but I don't know if I haven't had one in forever, so I don't know if they're still good. When I had them as a kid.
They still have them around now. It's a different recipe.
Mountain Dew's like always cranking out like crazy flavors though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your guys' favorite Mountain Dew like off flavor? Not like you can't say base. You gotta go with something different. Yeah. So it could be Code Red.
Can't count Baja Blast, by the way. It has to be something you can buy like in a store.
You can buy Baja Blast in the summer, brother.
Baja Blast is just kind of the basic answer. Like
it's goated. We should let's put the Baja Blast clause in place. We all agree Baja Blast is absolutely fucking goated.
Yeah.
And it skews the whole scale.
Yeah.
It's like that. Did I guys tell you about that raccoon video? We'll get there.
We'll get to the raccoon.
We'll get to the raccoon in a moment. I would say my favorite is probably Livewire.
Okay.
I think that's a controversial take because every time I have people are like, "What does that taste like?" They don't know. I'm like, "It's just Orange Mountain. It's been around forever." Like, what do you mean?
It's not my favorite, but
I like it. I liked Whiteout a lot, but Whiteout went away.
Oh,
it's the white citrus one.
Is it not still available?
No.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Yeah, because they put out all the fucking raspberry bullshit watermelon flavors.
Yeah, I've always liked Code Red just because it used to be like
it's a staple
at concession stands and stuff. You know, like I feel like
it was the premium cherry soda
thing.
choice. It was there was always there was like hardly ever cherry Pepsi,
and it was so freaking sweet, dude. I mean, it still is. Like there's got to be so much sugar in Code Red.
There's like 37 grams of sugar, if not more.
It's basically like Kool-Aid that's carbonated.
You know what's really sad though is you see some. We'll go back to that your flavor choice in just a moment. I promise.
Oh, sure.
But I see like some orange sodas, which are like caffeine free options. They like Mountain Dew has like 38 grams of sugar per can, and then like an off-brand orange soda has like 43 grams.
Yeah, Fanta or something.
And it's like, wait a minute, this is not better. This is just more sugar and no caffeine.
Yeah,
it actually sucks.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your Mountain Dew flavor?
Oh man, I was gonna say Whiteout, dude. But
that's a good answer.
Yeah,
it was around for a long enough time to be qualifiable. I'd say
there's like a new flavor that they just came out with that I tried like in passing at a gas station. I can't remember what it is.
Was it us when we had Applebee's together and they had the exclusive flavor?
Ooh, that one's up there.
The dark berry Applebee's flavor. That was good.
The dark berry Applebee's
not good. The Sweet Lightning from fucking KFC. It's Mountain Dew Sweet Light. It's like a peach flavor. It's awful.
Ooh,
I don't like peach.
I don't like peach very much.
Peach
no,
I
don't like peach because it weird big rock in middle of fruit make brain go.
Right, and James and the Giant Peach is creepy.
True.
I like that movie and book.
It's a good book.
It's a good book. I thought the movie was a little creepy as
a child.
You
guys read Roald Dahl books?
Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl. Did you guys read his books at all when you were younger?
Ain't that Willy Wonka, man?
I had a phase, yeah. I had a phase in like 4th and 5th grade where I read a lot of his books.
Is he like the original Lemony Snicket?
No, I mean he's the James and Giant Peach.
I mean, there is
guy.
a whole Willy Wonka universe. You know, there's like more to the story after like Charlie and the Chocolate. There's, like,
there's like 3 or 4 books.
Yeah, there's,
Oh,
like
okay.
I know
Yeah.
like the direct one after is like they're trapped in like a fucking elevator that's like shooting into space or something.
Yeah, it's when because at the end they are leaving in the elevator shooting into space, and that is where it ends. It's all happy, and then it's like newsflash: shooting an elevator into space is not actually a happy thing. You're
so,
gonna
could never
fucking
get it
die.
back.
It's so funny because like that book starts
And Grandpa
off with,
Joe's still a bitch.
yeah, they're like all celebrating, and then they're like, "Yo, this isn't going back to the ground." And Willy Wonka's just like, "It's not going back to the ground.
It's not.
It's all up from here, Charlie.
What do you mean, Charlie? You want to go back?
It
was
you want to go back to being
I think
poor,
too.
Charlie."
I think that's what it was. It was like these oddly dystopian books, and that
Yeah.
was why I enjoyed them because I'm fucking weird.
They're funny books, man.
They're good.
Yeah.
I really liked
Subverting expectations. It just never comes down.
what was the one? It wasn't James and the Giant. There was other. It was like one that was like adjacent to James and the Giant Peach that I really enjoyed. Can't remember the name of it from me right now. It was one that would never make it to like being a movie.
Big screen, yeah.
Snow
Yeah.
Dogs 2. Yeah.
Oh,
What a movie!
yeah.
What a movie!
Where all the dogs get stuck in a giant peach.
Speaking
Right,
of
snow and
Into the snow.
Yeah, into the peach.
So
it's a snowy peach.
I started trying to finally get into something because I felt personally offended by another podcast that I listened to.
Okay.
I was listening to The Yard, and they were talking about how if you're a tier 2 Patreon subscriber on there, because it's like a 5, 15, or 25, and then they have like a Rich King one too that's like gives you nothing more than tier 3, but you just pay more money because you're rich and you want to brag about it.
Yeah.
So in tier 2, where I started off with their Patreon, because I wanted to watch the backlog of bonus episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and I did that. But then in one of the regular episodes, they're just like, there's no way that anyone in tier 2 is watching all of the content, or even tier 3. And I'm like, well, what's the argument there? Because the bonus episode's an hour each week. So it's like, okay, an hour more I do that. Like I watch the regular, then I now watch the bonus every week when it comes out. So I was like, well, what am I missing out on? So they have their own advice show, and then they also have Nick and Slime watch every Disney Channel original movie,
Yeah,
and they do a riff track. So I finally decided to bite the bullet and like, let's see what they offer when they were doing these riff tracks. Man,
They're trash.
no, they're fucking great.
They're great.
Like I can't believe like no one else thought of doing this faster or in a better way, because this is just fucking awesome. Just talking about how bad these movies are and how weirdly like written and how bad the acting
weird
is. Like just
messages.
all of it. Like Stepsister from Planet Weird's about a gas bubble. It's like a fart who's afraid to die. And like listening to them just be like, I want to take this character seriously, but she's a fucking fart bubble. Like
Yeah.
and just keep going back. Like, it's good. And I gave it a shot. Watched one of their movies. And I realized, like, yeah, there's no way I can watch all of these because they're putting up like an advice show a week and usually at least 1 or 2 Disney movies.
Mogul mindset, dude.
Did you guys see the meme going around that Ludwig and Mogul Male have never been seen in the same room together? Are they even the same person?
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Deep blood cut.
But he keeps saying he's not
okay.
as a joke,
Oh,
which
I
is a pretty
see.
funny bit. That's
Yeah.
good. He keeps being like, not every white guy with news anchor hair is, the same guy. It's wrong of you to do that to me. It's racist, guys. Speaking of Twitch drama, you guys want to touch up on the last little bit from we left off last week?
It's,
Since
it's
been
still
developed?
going on.
I mean, it went other places.
Okay.
So Mitch Jones, was the one who leaked all this information about the Mizkif thing that
Mhm.
like resulted in him getting in trouble. So,
Kicked off OTV.
well, I'm gonna say I don't think he's kicked out of OTK yet. I think he's gonna be bought out if
Okay.
anything because he is an equity holder.
Okay. OTK, sorry.
Yes, OTV is not involved with the drama at any level or propensity, so let's not malign them by accident. But basically, like there was a lot of drama farmers, but the big one being Destiny, but who like went over the leaked call between Train Miz.
Right, and then he starts interviewing people live on stream to like
Dude,
figure.
Dream,
He
what
offered
is,
everybody.
What is Dream, dude?
You mean Destiny?
Destiny is he
Dream is the Minecraft.
Oh,
Destiny
okay,
is the
okay.
Destiny is the like.
he's the political YouTuber.
I
Political-
thought
I
these
don't
were
even
the
know
same
what he is at
person.
this
Well,
point. I don't know why people keep going and giving him time. Like I
I
feel like
like
he's
him,
just,
but that's,
really.
that's a whole other subsect.
I feel like he's just got so much. He's always involved in everything, and he just worms his way into every piece of drama that happens. Like it's always like, oh,
Destiny is a word
oh, now-
confirmed on 1 to 10.
no, but now he's like, he just why is he interviewing these
snake.
people?
I will
Why-
say he
why
has
are-
taken it a lot farther than many people I think would or should have at this
Yeah.
point, and it's been going on for days over it. Whereas like other people have definitely dialed it back more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like I get talk about it for a little bit.
people
but-
were going to him when you watch his VOD. That's the thing. It's like you find out like, oh yeah, Mizkif went to me and asked me what I should do for advice. Like the train asked how I should do this. People are
But
consulting.
then why
Destiny.
are you going on stream and telling like all of
I
chat
don't
what-
know.
You know what's funny?
Like that's
to
what
me
I'm saying.
is,
It's
like,
just all content farming.
all these
It's
people
I
who have
hate
like
it.
taken like
'Cause it's their
sort of
money.
like opposing
business.
sides
Yeah.
have all just gone to the same person for advice.
Yeah,
So
which is really funny, actually. in the
God, I
context
need a
of all of
devil's
it.
advocate. Let's go ask Destiny what he
Yeah.
thinks.
So basically, Miz ended up.
If I'm him, I'm giving them garbage advice so I can keep getting views.
You know what he
Right,
told
exactly.
Miz?
I
You want to
need
hear the
more
advice he
content.
told them?
Really what?
Just go live, dude. First hour is just gonna be awkward as fuck, and it will be weird. And then after that, you'll just keep going. It'll be totally fine.
Yeah.
Right, just
So-
forget about all these
so
silly allegations
to-
and all this drama. Just go
To
live.
summarize the allegations clearly, basically a streamer named Adriana Lee. Sorry, I forgot her name last week's episode.
Oh yeah.
She in 2021 talked about an incident in 2020 where Crazy Slick acted creepy at a party. People witnessed it. She was drunk. And then it turned into this whole thing of basically an accusation from Trainwreck, who was being an advocate for her, saying, you know, that like this was a sexual assault. You guys did cover this up and all that. And then it's like Maya saying that she didn't do anything like gaslighting or trying to do anything harmful. Miskiff just saying like he was my friend. I was just trying to figure out what had happened and like all this other stuff. So very defensible, like soft spots where they're
Right,
not
it'll
really,
blow over. They'll be back to content next week.
No,
Yeah.
they definitely won't be happening like that. So there's in the OTK post saying like the whole thing about him stepping down temporarily.
They're not governors.
They're doing a.
Right.
They hired a third party for an investigation, basically.
When I heard that, I started laughing. Like, they just need to. I feel like they need to get over themselves a little bit. Like, it's I get that it's
mean-
like a huge controversy, but it shouldn't be so out in the public like this. It shouldn't
oh, I
be
agree.
like
I agree.
now we have
100%.
drama. You know, like all
Yeah.
the drama. Like
I mean-
we shouldn't even be talking about it. We should not even really know.
Correct.
Like, why is it this a
influencers
thing?
play by a completely like different set of rules though compared to everybody else. You know,
Right.
like when you choose this like path in life, you're kind of making.
Yeah, you
your
put yourself
whole,
in the path of public
Yeah,
domain.
exactly.
Yeah, you put yourself in the public eye.
That's
yeah.
it. That's your whole net worth is just the public opinion.
So basically, what I was going to say is that Miz and Meyer are both taking indefinite hiatuses until further notice. Miz, you know, obviously more hold up to the OTK.
He'll come
org
back and
stuff.
he'll get like
Well, he'll come back, but he might not
300K
be.
viewer
Well,
stream.
he,
and it'll
probably,
be,
but he,
you know,
he
it's like-
probably. Here's what's going to happen: either he's going to come back
Break
sooner,
Twitch.
and he'll have to leave OTK, and he won't be able to collab with anyone in OTK anymore. Emery might have to move
But
out.
how long will that even fucking last?
Well,
Like,
he'll only be able to collab with people who are less safe, basically, which will hurt his brand and ad revenue, like straight up. He won't be able to get as many sponsors.
I just don't
The
see
whole
these
time
people
during the
holding
call,
up.
by the way, he was worried about like Train deleting his tweet, so that way, fucking Mountain Dew Game Fuel would stop like emailing Mizkif being like, "Are you being accused of sexual assault?"
Yeah.
Because that's what they thought was
Oh my
happening. Yeah,
God.
it's bad. So rather than just getting rid of Crazy Slick when Crazy Slick caused a problem a year and a half ago, they kept him around until now, and now he's finally getting like booted out of the community, which is great. You know, if you make people feel unsafe in a content creator driven community, like you shouldn't be in content creation.
It's
Plus, you can reinvent yourself. Like you can go fucking be a guy who works at a restaurant and no one's gonna know who the fuck you are, and it would like it's not a death sentence of career. It's not like if you were Kim Kardashian.
Well, I
and
don't
you did
think he
something
even
bad.
really had a career. His career was scamming his friends for money.
That's Slicker.
That's
different
like
guy.
a different
Okay, well, who are these people?
Yeah.
I don't even care.
Crazy-
That's what I mean.
Crazy
I don't care who
Slick-
these
Crazy
fuckers
Slick
are.
is a swoopy haired Justin Bieber haircut emo boy who lives in Mizkif's house and has been a longtime mod of his.
Okay,
We're at
That's all
the
you need
point
to
in Twitch where you can have a career being a mod, dude.
I guess
He was
I
also.
guess.
I will say his career was more on the up and up recently because he had been doing a subathon for the last
mean,
month, but that doesn't
I feel
justify
like you
anything.
do have to pay your mods a little bit because you're getting like 10,000 messages like
Oh yeah,
every couple minutes, and you only have like 10 guys. Like,
but then again, you also have people who like want to be a mod for free and then they work their way up to just getting a paycheck one day when someone pops off.
yeah.
So, shout out to those guys. They're the real heroes.
I mean, that's how the industry works. Though, is you got to know somebody.
Now let's step away from the Twitch. Well, it's still Twitch related, but it's not just like the streamer farmer drama. Let's talk about the actual development of real drama that's palatable in the chess world.
Oh,
There have been
that's
2 new
neat.
updates recently.
Okay.
Okay. So the most recent one that I was going to lead with was that Hans Niemann played against Magnus Carlsen, #1 chess player in the world, basically. By basically, I mean definitely until recently has been unquestionable. He was
Yeah.
on a 53 game match win streak until he played Hans in that tournament in St. Louis. Now,
Shout out.
Yeah.
Magnus gets to like turn 3 against Hans in a tournament, and then he just resigns and doesn't say much of anything. And then he finally put out a full statement on his Instagram and was just like, "I believe he has cheated more recently than he has led us to believe." Like verbatim said that.
So he basically he in his statement he like danced around it because he didn't want to actually accuse the guy because he didn't have any like evidence for sure. But he's just like, based on how he played me and how he looked like he was barely paying attention to our match.
And he wasn't pressured during
he
pressure
played
points.
he played me to the stockfish almost exact maximum probability move
Like
each time.
Yeah.
So he's playing at a level that he's never played at before.
In high
and
pressure
after he took
situation.
like a year break off during COVID. Like, so people are trying to say like, oh, it's because, you know, like he didn't play much during COVID. He got much better. He was playing online. It's like,
shut the fuck up.
You went from a guy who's you know, been pretty good, but like all of a sudden all of these top level players are looking at you like, and in the post game interview, the biggest thing that he mentioned was the post game interview where they're like asking him to explain his line of play against Magnus, and he has no idea really. He doesn't really remember what even happened in the match because he's just kind of regurgitating,
which
the
is
moves.
not very like. I would say
every
that's
chess champion should be able to walk you through every single piece of that game.
I get that. My question
almost always.
Has there been any more developments on the anal bead technology?
I think that was him.
Similarly, yes.
The same
so
dude?
hang on, that is the Hans Niemann side of it. Yes. So I just posted this actually in our little Discord right before you guys got here of a nice little update to this. A cam site has offered Hans Niemann $1 million to play chess in the nude to prove he didn't cheat.
He didn't use anal beads. Yeah,
I think it's funny that was on the Offbeat subreddit, but it was posted by Vice, and I'm like, that is major news.
Yeah.
Like that is actually major news in this situation. Like, come on.
But like, I can see why he would be like, no, because it's like I don't want to be naked in front of all these people.
That emphatic little fucking chess weirdo. Hell no.
Yeah,
I would not. No way. No way.
It was more just a meme to get publicity.
It is funny though.
It's hilarious.
I wonder what cam site it was. Like Cam Soda.
OnlyFans.
Nah, I don't call OnlyFans a cam site. It's a creator site.
Yeah, true. Yeah, creative outlet for butthole pictures.
No, that's Twitch. That's misbehaving.
Right.
Oh, should we talk? We've never addressed this. I don't think you guys really noticed that well. So, do you guys remember 2 years ago during the Twitch bubble boom of the girl who showed her whole butthole to the internet? You guys remember hearing about this?
Well, there's a girl who had sex on the.
Yeah.
That was recent. This was like I said, this is 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, there was a girl named Misbehavin' who went live, and she was live for all like 17 minutes before she ended up attracting a 3-day ban because she basically like.
Oh, she thought she was live on a ChatterBait stream.
No, she thought she was recording.
Oh.
She thought she was pressing record. Now, for the record, she uses the same technology we use to make the pod. And for the record, record's right there and go live is right there. They are right next to each other, for the record.
Okay.
And if you're not a technologically savvy person, like I can see how that happens to you.
Well, if you're getting ready to record B-hole, you're probably not paying much. Like, especially if you're doing the recording.
Click a button to click record.
She doesn't have a cameraman.
True.
Right.
Honest mistake.
I mean, and honestly, so here's how I know this. It's her boyfriend who's your cameraman who like operates all the camera work and stuff. Because turns out this streamer, I'm not gonna like her name is Misbehaving, but I'm not gonna dox her in real life. She went to high school with me and you guys too. She would have been older than you, but younger than me. Yeah. So we know an incredibly famous butthole Twitch streamer.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're it's like the degrees of Kevin Bacon there.
Yeah. I remember hearing about it because it was literally like a conversation between a couple of my Twitch friends and then like people I know in real life who streamed at the time. I hadn't started streaming yet, but they were just like, I can't believe, because I think it was Justin Minks had acquired a ban for 7 days for using some word against somebody. Like it was, I think this is back when the whole incel virgin. Yes, like honestly, I think that's what was going on. Was that thing being declared a slur? And Minx was just like, "Fuck it, I'm using the slur," and made a joke about it, called somebody a simp pejoratively, and then got a 7-day ban. But then Misbehaving goes live and shows butthole and got a 3-day ban. And that was where our whole conversation around Star was like, "This is ridiculous." That like they're huge moderation issues of how variable it is a problem. And then someone's like, "Wait a minute. Isn't the girl who got banned for her butthole this girl we know?" And I was like, "Oh shit, that is her!" Like it just blew our fucking brains apart.
It's like Jadion and that girl who got caught having sex on stream. It's like how he's still banned, but like she got
Jadion. The Jadion ban seems a little unjust.
It is. I mean, I don't like him very much.
I don't love what he offers, but like I Show Speed still around.
Yeah.
So I know it's different platforms.
I love I Show Speed.
What do you like about Speed?
What does he do?
It's just funny. Sometimes.
He reacts.
It's
because his reactions are so over the top and he's just
funny.
Screaming,
like
literally yelling.
I don't watch his streams, but when I see his shit on TikTok of like the clipped like reaction to something, like
I will say I enjoy when someone edits like I Show Speed into like a Sonic game and he's like running fast. That shit's fun.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a fan because it's like his fans that are doing that.
I mean, I feel like that's the same reason why I said earlier why I like Destiny is because when I see Destiny and things like he might seem like a worm and he might seem like kind of annoying. but his stances are always so consistent with what he says.
He's
And he very much backs up when he says shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of.
That's fair. I mean, I guess he's been consistent. I just know that
Like, people can say-
every time there's drama, he somehow gets involved.
Yeah, he always is.
And it's always like he has nothing
I think
to do
one
with the
thing I
situation
really
whatsoever.
I will agree with that. He definitely works his way in situations where he doesn't need to be there. But I will say one thing I like he does a lot is when he makes an argument, he'll use an extreme example, and people are like, "You can't do that," and he's just like, "Yeah, I can. That's why we make examples of things. Like, that's the whole point of making an example. That's why you should use extremes to flesh out the like.
Well, it
the
depends
ends.
because I mean it can be a logical fallacy in an argument. So
Absolutely,
Yeah,
but I think that
it depends on how you use it.
But of all people, I think he is the one to recognize, like, I could be logically fallible because of this. I'm going to say this still, but I recognize my fallacy before I even speak it. And that's what I enjoy about him, is he's very like good about correcting himself. And he always is open to being like, hey, I'm going to say I had this from a reliable source. There's this. However, if you have a video clip or something that can tell me otherwise, prove me wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. He always says that. And I'm just like, damn. Respect. Guy who can confidently speak, but then is able to say, like, I am more than willing to accept that I am a fallible person.
For me, I'd ban whoever called me wrong in Twitch
Right,
chat.
right.
I've only ever had to ban
Any
2 people in my
naysayers,
chat.
you're out of here.
I was watching the People's Court. I had planned a whole react part of my stream at the beginning. I was watching the People's Court because it had like a great thumbnail and a great title, and I was just like, damn, I gotta watch this clip with chat. It was like 15 minutes, right? And I was like pausing, talking about it. And then like this, I don't know who it was to this day, but so it had to be someone I know, because I'm so minute in the scheme of Twitch. Like, I am, the 2 millionth biggest streamer on the platform. You know what I mean?
Obby.
Yeah, I know a guy or two. I know William Neff.
Yeah.
But I had these guy comes. He's like, "Why are you just watching this?" Well, it seems kind of lazy, and I was just like, "All right, I mean, that's your way you feel about it. That's cool, man." And
Why are you watching me watch this?
Right, but then another one of my chatters was just like, "I don't know, I'm having a really good time watching this with him, so I don't know what you're talking about." And then another chatter said something like, "Yeah, this is really fun. What are you talking about?" And then they started going in, and then I clicked on their Twitch profiles via Streamlabs, and it popped up like a browser thing, like a tab.
Yeah.
And they got all weird. They're like, "Oh, what are you pulling up? What are you pulling up?" So I dragged it back onto the screen, and I was like, "I'll show you what I'm looking at. It's fucking you." And I'm like, "Where's your fucking content?" I go, "You are like, who are you?" First off, you have 0 followers, 0 anything. These are fresh accounts, so you made these recently. I'm like, you clearly know me at some level. So like, who the fuck are you to come in here and be like, "Oh, what you're doing is lazy"? I go, "Where is your literal any content? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a Twitter? Do you have anything?" They're like, "No, that's not my job. That's your job."
Yeah.
I go, "Job? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?" And they're like, "Our job as a viewer is to observe. Yours is to create." Blah blah blah. And I was just like,
Jesus.
"Yeah." I just feel like, "Yeah, you're fucking entitled."
Your job
Give me
as
content now.
And I just go, and if you're not enjoying the content, then like, why are you still
your
here?
job
Like,
as
you
a
can
viewer,
go to anyone else.
Your job as a viewer is to find the content you want to fucking watch.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
Boring.
Like,
Like type one comment and then leave.
Yeah.
Politely see yourself out, because there's literally a million other people live.
Right. If you don't like what you're watching,
Yeah.
then you just click away. Like, it's always
Like,
odd to me
imagine-
that people feel the need to go out of their way and like give their opinion on
So
things.
here's my allegory to it of why it's weird, right? Like, why is it so weird? Because there is a chat functionality. You want interaction, you want engagement, right? You want people to talk and pretend and all these things. The problem with this is why it's so like odd is because it's the same thing as like turning on a TV channel and seeing it's not the show you want to watch and then yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
It's literally not going to change anything. It's not going to stop me from wanting to watch whatever I was watching or do whatever I'm doing on stream. It's not like when I go, if I had 10 people in chat and 7 of them are going, "Don't play League of Legends," and I'm playing with the fucking boys, I don't give a fuck what 7 people have to say. Like, I'm playing fucking League with my boys.
Yeah.
If you want to enjoy the show while we're doing it, great. And if you don't, also great. You can talk your shit. But here's the thing. If you sit in my chat and you type to me and you're just throwing hate comments, and I said this to them too, I'm like, you're just helping me.
Yeah.
Because you're increasing my number.
Right.
For the average
get
time,
all those comments
you're getting more.
baby.
You're getting more interaction with my guests. Like, I will say this: like, part of becoming a required member of like being a partner versus a affiliate and like all those things getting pay scaled. Chatting is part of it. Like, they want up to 50 people in your stream chat. They want a community. Exactly. They want to establish you have a solid regular community. So for them, it's like, held by numbers, dude. Sit here, click through more ads. I don't fucking care.
Right. Yeah. Go
Like,
ahead.
help me.
Sit on the
Help
stream
me,
and argue.
please. So, and then also the hot Twitch drama this week is that they're changing ad revenue split. It's not
Yeah.
70-30 with partners anymore. High tier people, it's all 50-50. Or it's 70-30 up to 100K, and then at 100K yearly, it's
Essentially,
50-50.
Twitch needs more money, is what they're trying to tell people.
So there's 2 schools of thought on what this means. It either means that like they need more money and they need Twitch to be more profitable, which is like people like Ludwig and people who've like left the platform think, and there's people who are still on it who are like convinced it's like, no, it's they want us to up our ad usage. They want us to up our ad revenue because that way we can at least get compensated more equally to what we were
Right.
getting.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's probably more accurate. They probably want you. It's probably to incentivize their high-end streamers to
Yes.
Well,
run more ads.
Amazon
and
went
to
on
incentivize
record
low-end
and talked
people
about
to
how
do the
much
same.
it costs to like host a stream and all that.
Yeah, they did
So,
talk about that,
like,
but they also
obviously, like,
but even
part
if
of it
you-
is the revenue side.
Yeah.
Like, they're not hitting the profits they
absolutely.
want.
But the problem that you have to look at too with that kind of thing is that like if you were to make that a product that you could sell on an individual license basis that
Mhm.
I would pay for annually, and you put it at an extremely reduced price even for that, the amount of money it would cost is still it's a drop in the bucket compared to the amount of money made. They can say it whatever way they want, but they're fucking full of shit.
No, they're
Yeah,
not. I mean,
yeah, I
honestly,
agree,
no.
yeah.
It's not. It's not really crazy to say that Twitch doesn't make very much money.
Oh, we know.
Oh,
we-
yeah,
we know
yeah.
it's not. We know it's not saying that it's not making very much money, but the amount of money that they're saying that they aren't making, I feel, is dishonest.
No, I don't think it is. I think
Yeah.
I think Twitch is a very unprofitable business model for a company. Twitch itself doesn't make very much money on the platform. A lot of money flows through the platform. They have a high amount of revenue, but it doesn't mean that they get to keep all of the stuff that they're making, you know?
I mean, I'll definitely say I've always thought the 70-30 split, like, while it's nice, I do think it's a bit high. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised it was 70-30
little
before.
mango dragon fruit.
Really,
it's
that's
tasty.
probably just a holdover from like Justin TV
I would
and a
think
legacy
60-40
sort of thing.
would make a lot more sense for your higher tier.
I'm surprised it's favored towards creators at all, to be honest with you, because
Well, I know that
really
the
they're
tube
providing the
is-
service, they're providing the platform, they're
Right.
providing the tools, everything else.
I will say this, though, that YouTube is a 70-30 split for its creators.
Yeah.
So that is like
I
standard
think they'll
almost.
probably end up going the same way as Twitch does, and I think everybody will probably trend towards more of a 50-50 split. But the thing is like what I
YouTube
think a
just
lot of these people
overtakes.
fail to realize is, well, I don't really know that that's the case, because every time there's somebody that buys a bunch of streamers like YouTube and Facebook and
Well,
these
hear
people
me
have
out.
over the last
Mixer.
couple of years, it's like, yeah, they're doing fine and they make tons of money and good for them.
Yep.
But I don't think it really makes the platform better for them to be there. You know, like Ludwig being on YouTube, I watch way less Ludwig than I would if he was on Twitch.
I will disagree with your point, basically only because of you said Ludwig.
But
if you said anybody else, I would agree with you. But he changes.
But that's
one
my
thing
but
about
that's
it.
my point, is like he's gone there, he's made a shit ton of money and it's great for him, but like YouTube's service has not improved at all since he's been there. There's not been any
That is
addition.
factually untrue.
Well, just the chat
But
is only
but no,
issue.
okay, tell me how you find a fucking live stream. Just if you just
hold
pull
up.
up YouTube.
Wait,
Hold up.
That's
That's
what I
one.
mean.
Hang on. I agree with what you're saying there on that point of finding
Like, yeah,
streams
okay,
is not
they've made
navigatable.
improvements, but it doesn't move the
Hold
needle
up,
on
hold
the
up.
fight.
Let me-
Is what I mean.
I disagree still, but I'm going to explain what I mean first before I just tell you why. Like I'm fundamentally disagreeing. Truffle TV is an extension that he worked with Otto, his mod, who is a programmer, to make a better version of YouTube streaming. So the chat's better, emotes are there, like all these things. Ludwig single-handedly has improved the live streaming.
Does everyone have
experience.
access to that?
Yes, all the big creators now have it.
Hmm.
So like Fuslie is now like she's migrated, she has it. Saikuno has it. Like he has had it in testing for like 4 or 5 months of his own time, and then he started slowly trickling it out to more people who were converting over, and now he's like making it fully available as of a couple months ago.
Okay, but that's kind of like the same thing. Is it showing this that YouTube has no
So,
support?
wait.
He shouldn't be the one going out and doing that. It should be YouTube should go to these big creators if
Absolutely.
they really had the connection. That's my point.
Yeah,
is,
no, I agree.
Is
with
there
that.
still no change in the interaction? So if Twitch comes next year and says, "Hey, Ludwig, we'll give you another 300 million to come back," he'd still probably do it, and then he would do the same thing he's doing at YouTube over there. You know, he's going to improve whatever platform he's on. But my point is that these big companies, to your point of they do make some money, and especially YouTube makes a shit ton of money as well, is they don't really have an incentive to invest here because there's not a lot of money for them to
I'll
be made,
agree
you
that
know, at the
also-
70-30 split especially.
Yeah, I'll agree with the sentiment of like it's not YouTube, the platform, making the proper changes and making the experience better, because that is a huge complaint of Ludwig's, who is their biggest.
No,
one of their
I'll
biggest
agree.
creators.
He's done a great job, but it's like
and
they
he,
don't.
Well, he
support him
always
at all.
voices that like when they want to make a change, what happens is they like, we should look into that, and then they would do like research for like a year or two,
Mhm.
and then they finally make the fucking change, rather than like
Right.
just I don't know, like 5 of the biggest people on their platform all being like, fucking fix this.
But that's the thing. It's a corporation. Like people who are, and that's what I noticed.
Susan.
Here I want to talk about. Well, I'll have to talk about
Susan
Donkey's
Wojcicki.
Company. Did we talk about Donkey's Company on here?
Big mode.
Big Mo.
Did we talk?
No.
What does it
we'll
do?
talk about that. We'll talk about that next. Trust me. We'll get into
We'll
that.
there.
But it's like it's the same sort of thing that I see with a lot of, not that Ludwig's doing this or any of them, there's been more recent examples, but it brought me back to like when the Yogscast started their company and tried to make a game and stuff.
Yeah.
When you get into the corporate world of actual business, these YouTubers have no idea how it operates. Like you said, if you're trying to make a change in software, and I mean, I know this especially just from my work.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like, oh, we just get our 5 most important people together and they decide how it is.
Absolutely.
It's going to be whoever's the software lead for YouTube Live is going to, start a project, an initiative, and then get people on board, and they'll have some comments from these guys, and it'll be a
You're
whole
absolutely
project.
right. Yeah.
So I just think when they make these statements like, oh, I just can't believe they haven't fixed this. It's like, I agree with
To be
you,
taken
but
with
for
a
a
grain of
different
salt.
systematic reason, like
Yeah.
it should have, when they launched YouTube Live, all of the things that are on Ludwig's service should have been part of the project plan, at this point in the race. It's hard for me to say like all of these are going to get fixed at once when there's, they're not going to be a huge project team involved at this point that I'd imagine.
So quick caveat that I think actually I've found fundamentally holds true is something that El Ludwigo, for the last time we'll mention him this episode, kind of voiced of like what he figured out about
Sponsored
Twitch
by
streaming.
Ludwig.
Yeah, sponsored by the Yard. Part of the Yard network now.
Yeah.
So he was talking about how he cracked the code on Twitch streaming and how like versus YouTube streaming. Like, what do you need to do? So with YouTube streaming, he claims it's about exclusivity and like time of like this stream will end when I finish this, or like this stream ends when we beat this game, or I have 1 hour to do this, because it drums up hype. Whereas on Twitch, it's about like getting people there for as long as possible and retaining them. Whereas with YouTube, like you have more traffic, but people don't stay as long. So you have to create an air of like exclusivity and needing to be there, or else you'll miss something. So something I've noticed he does is he's like, cool, I'm gonna record my mogul mail, and I'm like, I kind of want to watch him. Like he's like, I know it's in the stream title, so I'm like, I kind of want to watch his next mogul mail before it comes out. I want to watch it when he records it. So like I was like, okay, that's cool. Like that was a fun like little trip. Or like he'll be like, I have 1 hour to beat this game, or else I dye my hair, and it's adding that like that escalation point of urgency, right? And having that's what works better on YouTube with thumbnail names and titles, because the way that thumbnails work is fundamentally the same on a YouTube video as a live stream.
Right. Yeah. The live stream interface isn't any different.
Also,
Hardly,
like,
really.
Yeah, it just has a little live
like
tag on the video.
Discovery for streamers and when they go live, like for YouTube, isn't like that. I think it's almost
That
better.
No.
Well, hear me out. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I can't find him at all.
So,
That's
like,
that was
The
my,
only
that's my
good
main
thing about it
complaint
is
with
that when you
YouTube
go
Live.
watch your YouTube video, like if I'm watching a Destiny VOD video and then I go to his channel to watch that video and I'm watching the video and then I see, oh, there's a little red circle that says he's live right now. Let me go see what he's doing.
Oh,
That is the only good part of their exploration, in my opinion.
you get
that
them in
you
the
can get.
shorts.
When
too.
I go to my
Exactly.
subscriptions, that's the only time I see Ludwig is live. I don't ever
Really?
see it anywhere else.
His recommended.
I see
or
it right at the
stream
top of
coming
it,
up
but
in
that's
30
it.
minutes for the remind
I
me.
feel-
That comes up on my top 8 every time.
I feel like a lot of people like.
But
when you see your like
it took some
streamer
time to get
live
there.
at like a weird time, like you're probably checking like social media, like Twitter or something.
Yeah,
you
I
know what
also
mean?
I'll also check to see like if they went live like at a time that I don't expect them to.
Yeah, like
I'll
the
be
like the
like,
main. Like
what's going
if
on
you-
here?
If you truly like follow a streamer and enjoy their content, like they're creatures of habit for the most part.
It's about time slots
Well,
too.
and
Yeah.
here and this is just a selfish complaint for me, and this is one of the reasons why I hate all these extra platforms, is because I loved the experience of Twitch. How it used to be, you could just go like early morning, I'd be watching something at noon,
Yep.
on my lunch break, and I'd know that these guys would be on streaming. And then later in the afternoon, you get on at night, and then all of these guys, and I could flip around. I'd be like, oh, let me go watch Shroud. Let me go watch Summit for a bit. Let me pop around, maybe
I
watch.
loved watching.
I
like,
loved
Tim
having the
and
variety
Lupo at the same time.
And
go back to
now
their
that they're all
streams.
on different platforms, that experience of like popping around to different streams for me has kind of just stopped.
Horrible.
I really don't watch as many streams as I used to, because
No,
I get on
I don't
Twitch and I'm
either.
like, there's nobody that I'd want to see right now. Like none of these guys really are doing anything interesting for me.
most
I'd
people who
rather
do
I'd
Twitch
rather
do
watch
YouTube
their
too,
TikTok
so.
clip channel.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Right.
they either do YouTube or TikTok clips. So it's
Yeah.
like
And it's
you're
spread
gonna,
out so
what
much
you're gonna
now.
go watch, you're gonna go find those places anyways.
Yeah, that's what
Mhm.
I'm saying.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and so I'm much more of a YouTube person now, just because and not even because I'm not available. Like I
That's
said,
the point.
I'm
the
on
more
all the
you're on
time.
YouTube, the more likely you'll
Well,
see
like
them
who
if they're
the
I
fuck is
guess.
gonna go back and watch a VOD on Twitch?
No, but I've gone back and watched VODs on YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because it's on a VOD's channel usually too.
Yeah.
It's
right,
made
and
to
it's
be that.
edited a little bit and it's cut up. I like that format of video. I don't like all
especially
the
like esports. You can't even
riff-raff.
watch the VODs for like.
Oh, for a lot of things, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
have
Well, like you can
to
find
go
them
back
on
and
YouTube,
you
albeit
can
maybe a
find
day
them.
later.
It's the esports highlight channels though. It's like the ones that are
Mhm.
made like LOL skill shot, like
No, they
LOL event VODs.
bro. As a CS fan, let me tell you, when I want to watch a full map, I'll find it.
Oh, I mean, I'm not saying you. I'm agreeing
Yeah,
with you. You can
yeah.
find them, but like you have to work harder than you do to find the fucking highlights of the whole match.
Right. Yeah.
If you have to know how to navigate subreddits. Okay, shut up.
I disagree. I disagree with that, dude. You just set the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
the length of
what
the
do you mean
video,
by
like
that?
the length of the video.
Yeah, you can usually find like
Oh, well,
like
yeah, if you
belt
find the full
recordings,
VOD
yeah.
from a day is what you're talking about, then yeah, I get you. Yeah, I agree. You
I
can
mean,
do
like
that.
you just you can find the
I was thinking-
matches and like
Yeah, most people. There's
Bro,
almost
I
always
love the
people
YouTube
posting
channels, the
matches.
real heroes out there who have documented every esports LOL game for the last 12 years of my
Yeah.
life and just kept like consistently like editing those down, getting them to like, oh, skip all the bullshit. Let's go right to draft phase.
yeah.
Let's get into game.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of editing videos, let's get back to the donkey thing because I'm
Ah,
curious
yes,
what your
let's-
guys'
yeah.
thoughts
Yeah, let's
are
try to
on
wrap
it.
up creator talk because we still have to cover TV and we got to
Oh,
cover
true.
a few
Okay,
other
okay.
things.
Yeah,
so.
we'll do a quick little session. So he's
Yeah.
made a publishing company,
Big mode.
and now I'm not completely certain what a publishing company does.
They get you marketing deals and they let you like actually like get
Well, you
your
hear
shit,
right,
shit on your shelves
you
and
hear
stuff.
of publishers for games.
Yeah.
Right. You hear of publishers for games, but generally it's like you have a game studio and a publisher.
So that's
know,
basically
you-
what it is. You don't have someone developing, you have someone putting it out on the market.
Right. So he's doing the marketing material. It's,
Yep.
His what I didn't like about the video, and this is something like I've always been a huge Donkey fan. I
that
think
it's
he's
Donkey.
hilarious. It's that he kept saying that like I know good games.
Oh yeah, I
like
I
he took.
hated
It's
it, but
almost
I
like
loved
it's
it.
He
almost
took his credibility and like
no, but
his-
he's always been a parody of himself. It's always been like, oh, I'm Goofy Donkey, haha, I make funny game
Yes.
review, but it's not a joke. He's really making a publishing company, and he really thinks he knows good games
It's
better
like-
than other people, and that makes him able to run a publishing company.
It's like Donkey in a trench coat pointing a gun at Donkey in a trench coat pointing a gun at Donkey in a trench coat in Minecraft.
yeah. I mean,
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Some-
because the
No.
first, no, so, hear me.
Well-
So the first joke, the first layer of Donkey joke would be like Donkey in a trench coat with a gun pointing a gun at Donkey.
yeah,
in a
I
trench
get
coat,
what you
right?
mean. Like it's a
But when he-
multi-layer joke,
But
then
when
it
he
never
takes
ends.
it, no, but it does end though. Is what I'm saying. It ends on a bad layer because he is being serious to some degree
I-
about actually making a game company and saying I know good games.
I
so,
don't know how this
it's a
company
joke.
works well.
Like it's like he doesn't take himself seriously, but in this situation, he genuinely actually needed to take himself seriously.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing I
Well,
said.
I just don't see how this ends up being successful.
No, like how can you just make a business when you're a guy who's made
Hear me
YouTube
out.
videos for the
If
last 12
one
years?
cool game comes out of this whole endeavor, though,
Right, I'll be super happy about
Yeah.
it.
exactly.
Like,
That's all it takes
and
is
I
one
think it
success.
will. Like, I think
it will
just by
happen.
nature of his popularity, some good indie game
So,
company will be like, "Let me go
that's-
ahead and use him as our marketer."
That's what I was gonna say though. Is like he put up their email address on like, and I guess you have to at some point. But
He's
do
a
you
real
know how
company.
many people are gonna be flooding that inbox? Like,
It's just bullshit.
just have
What
it-
if he's paying somebody to do that though?
That's
That's their
what
job.
That's what
Right.
I'm
Good.
saying though, dude.
Sounds like he's got the capital to do it. Because Leah, I was looking, I didn't see any of Donkey's tweets until I saw the video, but I saw his wife Leah's tweets because I used to be a longtime follower of them on Twitter and like up to them getting married,
Mhm.
and then I didn't really see them around as much because they just don't post as much.
Mhm.
But she posts stuff about it, and she was like super, congratulatory of all the people who are wishing them well or sending them things already, and
yeah.
so it sounds like they have a lot of their money saved, and this is just like. I think sometimes it's important to remember, boys, that some things in
You
life
just gotta
are
follow your
not
dreams. You just gotta follow your
well, like
dreams.
you said, like Twitch is not profitable and all that, or like,
But
you
this
know, we're saying like
is
Donkey,
this
how could
fun?
this be successful?
Is publishing video games fun?
I don't know, but for Donkey being Donkey, he might be able to connect someone and be able to make something really cool, and that might be a passion project for him.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I mean, we have 10 subscribers currently on YouTube. We have maybe 10 listeners. We have an audience of about 25 listen to the pod.
do you think he's
Do
gonna?
you think that tomorrow I'm going to be like sad about that and then give up on this,
do,
or
no,
that
I'm
not going to let
telling
Jamie
him
get
to
off
give
payroll?
up. I'm not telling him to give up, but I just don't understand the
no.
I'm
What
gonna
I'm
make
saying-
a publishing
what I-
company. You know what I mean? Like
But
he
what I'm
can do
saying is
everything
that
he wants
he-
to do in the video without having a company. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, he could. but he also can make a company and make something else out of it too, and have a passion project. He can have
That's
someone.
true. That's
He can, because here's something I used to think about a lot with like audio engineering.
I was gonna ask, do you think he uses Video Game Donkey YouTube channel to advertise some of these games?
No, I think that's exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is like if that's
Why
the
wouldn't
only
he? It's his
thing he
platform.
does,
Okay.
then what is he actually doing for these companies? Like, what does he know about game
Advertising
development?
for an insane amount. I don't know. That's maybe what
he
doesn't
can't
need
pro-
to know.
he
pretty
can't
much-
program.
Pretty much, if
He-
you have,
I guess maybe he knows people.
He's
that
not a
can.
corn dog.
If you're coming
Surely
to
not.
Donkey essentially, and you're like a developer, and you have like a game that's either close to finished or finished,
Yep.
you're pretty much just paying him to make a video.
imagine
of
you
it.
had a
But
game
that's
that you
not
can
what he
do everything
says
but
in the
publish.
video. He says in the video he wants to help you navigate and he wants to have a hands-on control and like input into the game. You know, like
Fair.
in the video he like talks about like I want to be able to help these people because I like that's how he says it.
Oh,
Like, 'cause I know what's
yeah. So
and
you-
it's just like
you-
that's so awkward, dude. Like how can you
Yeah.
I like you're a games critic. You're a games critic who makes funny videos.
See,
I'm
it would
with
have been
ya.
better if he just kind of went like, I recognize what makes certain games bad.
He shouldn't
you know.
he shouldn't have made it funny. He should have said like, "Hey guys, I've made a business like business inquiries. Please leave
He
it."
should have made a real video, and then he should have made a parody of that video.
He
and that
shoulda-
was
he
the
should have
video
been
where
ex-
he's making this.
Right.
Ooh,
That would have been
yeah.
true donkey.
He should have. It should have. He like when it came out. I thought it was a parody video. I was waiting for him to be like, "Just kidding, guys. I'm not that self righteous." But I'm like, "Oh,
My new company, Bingisa Bongisa.
right." I'm like, just stay in your lane. You know,
I
like
think-
I love you for your game critique and
Yeah.
for your videos, and I agree with all of his criticism on
Yeah.
games, and I think he's a great journalist in the way he crafts
he
his
has some
story throughout his
misses.
videos.
Super Mario 3 every year's game
I'm
of
not,
the
I
year.
don't
don't
agree
know.
with all of his game takes, but I'm like I love his videos. I think he's a great videographer, great YouTuber, but I just
Yeah.
I don't see this going well. Like I said, I hope he promotes a great game that I enjoy, but
I hope one game
I'm
pops off, and then it's still a
hoping he keeps
loss
his
for him, but
finances
everyone
great.
remembers it as like this great thing that happened. Like the Ouya, for those who get that joke.
The Ouya?
Oh, you don't know about the
I
Ouya?
don't know about that.
It was like a third-party console that came out in the early 2010s, like 2012, 13-ish.
Okay.
It was funded mostly by like GoFundMe. My friend Glenn still has one to this day, actually, and we are
Okay.
going to have a party soon. And like, so there's basically this old joke that goes out to my friends, Glenn, Nick, and Jane.
So Ouya is its own console.
Yeah, it was like basically like a Kickstarter thing, and it
Okay.
was like you donate money, and then we have like this third-party console where third-party games can be loaded onto. Like imagine like not like the Android store, but like something similar,
Okay.
yeah,
right?
just kind of like
but on like a box
wild
with
and
some
out there.
controllers, right? And our friend Glenn got one. We brought it over to this thing we used to do called Grill Night, which was like on Tuesday nights every summer, all summer long. So we would do it like as soon as college let out till as soon as college was going back, because most people went to the Lindenwood. So it was mostly people who were fairly local. So we'd get together every Tuesday night. We'd all throw like $5 to $6 in, and then one or two people would go to the grocery store while everyone else started hanging out. And they would all go buy a bunch of food for us, and then we would cook.
Are there any games on this Ouya?
We're getting there.
Okay.
So we're setting the scene, you see. So Glenn brings over the Ouya. We've been hyping up the Ouya.
Yeah.
And there is some games. There's one game called Bomb Squad, particularly a great game.
Like Bomberman?
Kind of, but like more team play, but also less team play in ways. Like you can fuck people over like that.
Counter-Strike.
Like it's like Bomberman where you can fuck people over, but you can also do cooperative things together where you can do like 2v2 maps and stuff.
Gotcha.
And that's
Okay.
it's kind of like
Interesting.
Bomberman, yeah. But
So it was Bomberman.
It was Bomberman.
it's Bomberman, but third party.
It was
It's got like 3D platforming to it too, rather than
It
just
was,
being like
it was
one
the
big circle.
Bomberman we have at home.
Okay, yes,
Certain
exactly.
levels of copium I haven't heard
Yes.
in a long
Can I
time.
play Xbox at home? It's the Ouya. Can I play Bomberman on Xbox? It's Bomb Squad on Ouya. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
So we're playing Bomb Squad for like hours because it was really fun, actually.
Yeah.
Well, they also had the issue. I think, what was it? I think you could like get the Ouya controller app on your phone too.
Oh, so you
could use
because you
So
didn't
there
have
was like 4 controllers, but you could have
because
like,
it
up to
only
8
came
people.
with one, right?
Right, but he had 4. But he did have 4.
Oh, he
already.
did have 4.
He did.
Okay,
He
he
did
bought
get
all
4.
4. I was gonna
Right.
say.
Yeah.
So,
So
the,
it had
part of
connect
the fun was you
well,
had to
so-
play with your phone.
No,
Yeah.
that's not part of the fun. So,
Fuck.
no, so hear me out.
No.
So you could only use up to 4 actual controllers. So you could buy 8 controllers and own 8 controllers, but you could not connect 8 controllers
to
to it.
use phones.
But you
past
could use 4
Well,
phones.
Oh my God.
As well.
I feel
Right?
like most
Scuffed.
consoles don't
Scuffed.
even like do 8 controllers now, do they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're
Right.
playing Bomb Squad. It's great. And then Jane gets a hold of one of the controllers because she was playing, and we had like some people had started eating, taking breaks, whatever. And then she's like, "I want to play another round." We're like, "Okay." And then she starts pressing buttons, not being a super big gamer or anything like that. And she accidentally goes into like their store and buys like another game, which is fundamentally like it's like Joust. You guys know what Joust is?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Jousting.
No. Like the actual game joust.
Like you fly,
It's
you
like
fly
there's
around in little
you
things, and
literal
you have a little
emus.
spear, and you try to joust each other.
It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
it's like-
SNES game or like an NES game.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
little old
it's-
arcade game where you used to
Oh,
joust
It's an
people.
arcade game called Joust.
Okay, so
Yeah.
This is some old white
bits.
people
This
shit.
is like bits, like
Yes.
64 or
16-bit.
16. Oh my
Probably 8
God.
and 16-bit start.
Yeah, like you'd hop around with a little spear and try to spear.
You're like a
other
little dude
people off
on
their
emus with
unicorns or
spears,
whatever.
and there's like 6 to 8 platforms on the map, and you just jump around
Why
trying to hit each other.
emus?
I don't know.
Because you can't use horses to jump up platforms.
Oh, that's fair. That's
Flightless
fair.
birds are funny. I don't know.
That's fair.
It just
Chocobos.
was what it was.
Yeah, they have
Chocobos.
Chocobos.
Shout out Final
Chocobo.
Fantasy. Yeah, man, that shit was hype. Anyways, she
Anyway,
accidentally
moving on
bought a
to some other-
$17 game.
Oh,
Yeah, and then now it's just this big joke amongst our friends of like, I basically just tweeted him. I was like, "Hey, Glenn, you still got that Ouya? I just want to see if we all want to hang out. Maybe Jane wants to like buy another game or something.
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Just
Yeah.
no big deal. But now that everything's cool, we're all still good friends, and we make jokes about it to this day.
That sounds like a good.
Wow.
concept.
Ooh, yeah, making memories since 2000, early 2000s.
2010s.
It's nice
Tens.
that it was a Kickstarter that came to fruition.
Yeah. I hate to see when a Kickstarter doesn't come
Like
to
when people get
fruition.
scammed.
So I had a GoFundMe once,
Okay.
What for?
and I said I wanted to make the world's best sandwich.
I started a
one of
GoFundMe
those.
to bring back the 2 for $5 at McDonald's once. I didn't reach our funding goal. I think it was like $10.
I literally put the funding goal for like $15, and I was
Or
like,
no, it was
I am gonna go to the grocery store and match everything.
what's the one where you just get pledges, you don't get money? That's the one it was.
I don't know.
It was
Oh, okay.
change.org.
change. Yeah, it was a change.org
That's funny.
petition to bring back the 2 for $5.
Okay, so you actually did that. I was like, hey,
it got a decent amount of signatures. I think it was like 10 or 11. That's why I got
Yeah,
the
that's
10.
pretty good. That's
I
pretty
made
good.
I made the GoFundMe for the world's best sandwich, and I was like, I just want you guys to give me some money, and I'll match my own money, and I'm gonna go to the store and buy a bunch of nice ingredients and just make a fat sandwich. I'm like, maybe I'll even give you a piece of the sandwich. Post a nice picture, just really put that sandwich artistry to work. I feel like my 6 months at Subway went to waste otherwise.
Yeah.
So I put in the shit post, right?
Oh, okay.
Got $35 on it. Like a
Okay.
$15 goal.
Okay.
So I went to the store and I spent like maybe like I don't know $20 on sandwich stuff, and then I bought like an RP card.
Oh, scamming.
Let's
Hey,
go.
IRS, I know where.
Somebody send
I'll send the address out.
Bro, that's-
Come and get
that's-
this guy.
somebody come give me
$15 RP card.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
believe
yeah.
that?
$10 RP card.
Confiscate one of his skins.
I had a
Right.
few extra dollars left over after
All
the
right,
exchange. and
Spirit
tax.
Guard Udyr, transfer it to
Yeah.
my account, please.
New deer, please.
New
Lil Nas X
deer,
skin.
yeah, new deer on
New
me.
deer.
Yeah, that was crazy. We didn't talk about that. How Lil Nas X is kind of the face of League of
Right,
Legends
is
right
the
now.
president of League of
That's
Legends.
a pretty good face to have when you're trying to come back from like SA, dude. Like
Right, with all the allegations they had at their headquarters, they need some good
Oh,
PR
man, that's
out here.
fucked up.
I mean,
Okay, so
But
we
no,
got-
I do think it's a lot better than Imagine Dragons, that's for sure.
How crazy is it that Riot just took away G2's Valorant slot?
I was about to
because
talk
of
about
an
that.
Andrew Tate video.
Yeah, so touch up on that little bit of drama. Carlos hanging out with Andrew Tate the other week. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah, it just shows you how fucking uptight you
So-
had.
He
all
got
this
booted
is.
from
So
the company.
basically, what ended
Yeah.
up happening, it's
Yeah.
all but confirmed at this point. They lost a VCT Valorant Champions Tournament slot in North
Valued
America.
at $13 million.
Right, anywhere from 10 to 20 million, but 13 million is a more rough estimate. So $13 million loss because of Carlos making his triple down statements on hanging out with whoever he wants to hang out with, being Andrew Tate. It came to light because all the X-Set players, who were the team that was allegedly going to be bought out of contract by G2 when they got this slot, they were like, damn, can't believe I just lost my job for a year to Andrew fucking Tate, or because of Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, oh, that makes this very real. And then shortly after, he resigned
Well,
as
wait.
CEO.
Why did Andrew Tate have it? Did he tell Carlos to buy this slot or something?
No,
No, they
Andrew
were just
Tate
hanging out.
After
And
the
right
race-
at the
yes.
time when all the slots were being auctioned off, and it was like a huge high profile thing, like, massive business deal to be a franchisee in the new Valorant slot.
Yes.
And right when that was happening, he was in a video with Andrew Tate, and then they were like,
okay.
hey, we don't want to be associated with him right now. And then he was like, nah, I can hang out with whoever I want. I
park
kind of
you
like
wherever
some of
the
it.
fuck I want.
And then he's
Yeah.
I don't think he even really supported any of Andrew Tate's ideas. It was just that
Not
like
at all.
he was so
Damn,
unrepentant about
dude.
hanging
Yep.
out with them that they were
That's-
like, we don't want to be you, the head of a CEO of a franchise, being involved with him right when
Do
we're
you
booting
know
it off.
how awful it would be if, like, God forbid, Valorant overtakes CS:GO completely, and G2's just not allowed to be a part of it.
Right. I mean, it's horrible for the brand. It shoots them in the foot.
Right, but I mean, this just shows you like these CEOs
well,
are
then,
just
like, if like and like it would come to a
regular
point
people.
where Riot would have to address the same decision with like
right.
the League of Legends spot.
Well, I think the thing is interesting is Carlos is one of the ones who's really emphatically helpful to his brand, and like it is actually kind of a sad thing to see him go. I think it's a bit extreme, honestly.
It is. It's a huge overreaction.
I think him not getting a slot in VCT is one thing, but him stepping down as CEO and being kind of like not told
from his company.
Them not getting the slot is wild to me.
Yeah,
I kind of understand it from a PR perspective, but I think it's still bullshit.
Like if Carlos just didn't double down on it, do you
because
think
you're not just punishing
if
him,
he just
right?
Apologized,
and it doesn't really even punish him, you know. Like,
dude, he's punished some great Valorant players. Like
he's gonna get punished anyway. Like he's probably gonna get fired. They already knew that, whatever. But the fact that you all go on top of that and are like, all right, now you guys are all punished for just being in the same org as this guy.
Yeah, all the
and then on top of that, like it's not like he killed anybody or did anything
Yankos.
crazy. He just hung out with some dude that is an idiot. But like,
yeah, and I get it.
Why does that make him unable to hold?
I mean, if we're being honest,
it's a little. I think it's a little overreaction.
I agree, it's an overreaction. But if the perspective is purely this, and the whole statement I'm about to make, then I can see at least why. Like Parm said, they're trying to recover from the allegations of sexual assault.
Yeah.
And if you have a guy who's known actively to have like tweeted about being a sexual assaulter.
Yeah.
And anyone being affiliated with that.
I think he's like a human trafficker, even like accused or like a convicted human trafficker.
Not convicted, but whatever. Let's not cross the boundaries of why Andrew Tate is bad. We just acknowledge he is.
He just sucks.
So with that in mind, like if they're trying to get away from that PR look, and this is horrible for PR, like that just is what it is.
He's been huge in the like it was a meme leading up to that, but where it was like everybody stopped talking to Andrew Tate, you know, like has now been banned from.
But there's no way Riot made Carlos
Chuck E.
step
Cheese.
down. That's impossible. They did not do that. They also like the report of that kind of went around from esports confirmed false.
Of him stepping down?
No, of him being told by Riot he had to step down. Because
no,
Riot
they're not going to tell him. I mean,
all of his.
But they know he's going to get let go when that happens. I mean, when you lose $13
within
million,
the org,
within
the org, it happened. It had to have happened.
Shareholders are going to be like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Yeah,
I mean, it's just time to step down. It just is, you know. And it doesn't mean your brand can't succeed. They may not be as big as what they'll be in 5 or 10 years. They were not made.
I mean, that's a pretty big hit to lose.
Yeah, because
it is. So I'm saying they won't be as big. They will not be as big as they would be if Carlos was involved.
There is potential where Riot could have the 1 and 2 most popular esports on the planet.
We're working on it,
and it wouldn't be out of like the realm of belief for them to buy like Rocket League.
Okay, so I'll say this: my love for Valorant quickly died again.
Really?
Yeah, just not playing it again because Gundam Evolution came out, baby.
Oh, yeah,
and then Overwatch 2 comes out in 7 days.
Okay,
it's literally a week to date. So, yeah, you guys can sleep on it, but after we record the pod next week, I'll be fucking playing. So,
well, speaking of sleeping, there was a lot of not a lot of people were sleeping on Game of Thrones this week.
I was sleeping with some people. Jesus,
right?
So
there's a lot of fucking going on in the time skip. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, Rhaenyra has 3 kids with what's his name?
Sir Harwin Strong.
Harwin Strong. That's right. All bastard children, not Laenor's kids, basically. Because
which was wild to me. I kind of assumed she was going to do the whole thing like, can you just like fuck me on the side a little bit so we can have Targaryen children. I didn't think that it was going to be like a full on like, oh no, like we're not.
I mean, I don't know. I don't
put
know
on any
Rhaenyra's ambitions are anymore at this point. Her character has become more convoluted as time has gone on.
Yeah,
and now it's like less understandable.
Right.
Actually.
This time skip was very jarring.
Well, when she was younger, I felt like her convictions were more like this is who she is.
Yeah.
And now it's just like I don't know what the fuck just happened for the last 10 years where you were just
right. Like where's the characterization that got her to be in a relationship with Sir Harwin, and then like why did we skip over their whole relationship if we've done all the other backstory?
The king's son.
Like I feel like something I read is that they didn't want to do the backstory, like all this whole leading up. They wanted to just start in the dance with all of the characters, but they felt that it'd be too much. But now it's almost like they went kind of halfway, where we got like enough exposition to where we got invested in some of these characters. But then now we time skipped and we're like, all right, well, what do we really know about anybody? Because it's been 10 years since we've really seen anything about him.
I feel like the next episode should probably alleviate.
Like Damon was kind of the same way, where it's like, what is he doing?
Yeah, Damon got very complicit from where we left him. Like he was making moves politically in a way.
Right, he was trying to
And
like
he was like
trying
known
to
as
take
the
over
king
the
of
king.
he was like what the king of the
King of the
South?
Narrow Sea.
King of the
King
Narrow
of the Narrow
Sea.
Sea. He did
Right.
all that.
So they made a reference to that of how like that was 10 years ago, one fight, ha ha ha. Like they poked fun at it, and it's like, what the fuck happened
Right,
to
well,
this
yeah.
family for 10 years?
What
Right.
happened to the guy who literally went against a like small army alone
Also, why does
on a beach?
Viserys look better?
How is this dude still living? I kept thinking he'd be dead by episode 3.
Him being alive makes sense still because
I
they're
mean,
gonna
it
have to kill
does.
the dude
Yeah,
and all
I know,
that and
I
make
know, I
everything
know.
happen. But like, he looks older, but he doesn't look as wounded.
Well, I'm sure he's
He's all of a sudden got much more spry since last episode. You remember they were like helping him off the fucking
saying.
horse and like he
was,
could
like,
barely
fall-
move,
and
and
now
now
he's,
he's just.
I mean, he's not moving
popping
much, but
around.
hey man,
He's
like,
just old grandpa.
He's
Hey,
probably
grandpa.
like, I don't know, less stressed.
I don't know.
Right, he gets to watch his grandkids that are
Yeah,
all
he gets- he
bastards.
gets
Let's
to-
talk about his
Yeah.
grandkids. Well, not all of his bastard grandchildren. Well, his sons are actually not bastards. It's his. So Aegon is a teenager and he jerks off in fucking castle windows.
Right,
Which was so,
which
that
is
was
the, which
so
is,
fucking
hey,
funny.
that's the same window that Joffrey threw himself, or Tommen threw himself off.
That's crazy.
I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people put a side by side of the.
If that
castle.
is the case, I
where he
love
was
that.
Beating off, that's crazy.
But hear me out. Hear me out. After that scene happened where like Allison approached Aegon and like screamed at him, grabbed his face, all that shit.
You are the challenge.
And she's like, "You are the challenge, your existence, all that stuff, right?" So Sam and I just like looked at each other and we're just like, "No wonder this dude becomes fucking Maggie." Like,
Right.
He's
So,
fucking jerking off.
I
His mom
saw-
comes in his room, freaks him the
But I
fuck
feel
out.
like he's
and then,
already
like,
a little odd. Like I
the-
felt who's jerking out the window.
late-
I
in
feel
the
like
middle of the day?
Aemond is even weirder than him though.
Like the-
Aemond was fucking weird.
Yeah, they both look a little. They have the inbred look about them. I will say they
Like,
got the Targaryen look down with
the-
those
the
castings.
woman who plays Allison, I think she like either tweeted or said in an interview, like to
Yeah.
get in the mindset to play Allison for where she is. She was like the vibe was like a Baroness of Trump or something. And you're like, you know
Yeah,
what
I mean that's kind of
Like,
right. Like
being like a kept woman of his.
Jesus.
Yeah,
it is similar in the way that like her
Yikes.
father kind of like put all this stress and pressure on her
Yeah.
to marry the king, and now she's doing the exact same thing to her children. It just shows you like the cycle of abuse.
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
The same way
Dude,
her father,
so-
pitted Rhaenyra and her against each other by marrying
Here-
the
here's
king.
a-
Like she's doing it with her kids against Rhaenyra's kids now.
Here's a fun little question. So, like this show, like the events that are happening are like obviously heavily referenced, like in the Game of Thrones series.
hmm
Do you think Hot D is gonna follow the way like Joffrey and the others like describe it throughout that show?
What's up with the new Joffrey we have?
They don't say that much.
We got
you know?
Joffrey 1,
Well,
bitch.
like Joffrey, like in the show goes like this is where Rhaenyra was eaten by like Aegon's dragon.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he
Hmm.
says that, and he's like it was in front of her kids that it happened.
Well, I mean, shit. Yeah, if
We'll
there's
find
stuff
out,
that's
man.
been said,
Not a
I'm
spoiler
assuming
because
it's
if you
gotta
watch
happen.
Game of Thrones, you literally saw this.
Right.
I mean, at this point, I think when we talk about any piece of media, because we've talked about TV for as long as the pod has been going.
Right.
By the way, what episode number is it?
30.
Yours?
29.
It is episode 30.
Oh,
okay, it is-
let's
it is 30. Okay.
go.
With any show we talk about, we used to put like timestamps and stuff in there and be like, if you want spoilers, jump ahead to here. I think we gave up on that a while ago.
Well, this is literally not a spoiler.
Well, we also talk about things in like a
It's
serialized
a
manner,
reminder.
you
Well,
know?
and it's just like if you're not up on your shows, that's on you. Don't be watching
Well, we record.
stuff.
So
where
we
talk
record
about
on
it, you know?
Tuesdays. Now it's football season. We'll just say that. So shows are coming out on what, Fridays and Sundays.
It's
So if
been a
you
whole
don't-
week after when we talk about it.
It's at least 40 full hours after it comes out.
Yeah.
So there's enough time for us to watch it, digest it, and then have time to talk about it. Let's talk about our other TV show before we wrap up. Rings of Power.
I haven't watched any of it.
Really, you're not caught up.
I lost my interest.
It's pretty
Damn.
boring.
Really?
Yeah.
So I feel like my consumer bias has still got me where I'm. Just
Yeah.
like,
I just
like,
didn't
for all
find
of
most of
every-
what you found interesting. Like
Bruh,
there's
it's
just
like
not a lot
this
to bring me
latest
back.
episode, I was like, are we gonna get like something? Are we gonna?
I mean, we're off Numenor.
we're off Numenor.
Thank fucking God.
Woo.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there was just a little bit of drag for some of the storylines and threads.
It's gonna if it drags next week.
No, it's not going to. The
I
preview
get
for the next week already came out, and it literally said,
like I'm out.
"My brother in Christ, Sauron, reveals himself next week."
Okay.
I've been waiting for
Ooh-wee.
Sauron to be revealed who he is.
And what does he go play Yahtzee with the orc leader while like everyone
Yeah,
just jerks
right.
their dicks
First
and
off,
talks?
we obviously established in this episode that Adar is not Sauron by the interaction he had with whatever the name was,
Huge.
Wayman or whatever it is.
Gaming.
The dude, yeah,
Like I
Wayman
said,
Gaiman.
it's just tough when the dichotomy is hot D, where some girl's bleeding out of her just had kid while
Yeah.
she's
That was a
all the
crazy scene.
steaming.
Oh,
like
that was
there's
crazy.
just so much nastiness
Woman
and
who
crazy
can't
shit
push out
going
her
on.
child asks her dragon to burn her
Right?
alive.
Yeah, right.
I mean, okay, so as we said before in the last episode, I think was particularly
Spoilers.
no, it's the thought of like Game of Thrones is the moving plot threads of characters, and like that's what keeps it interesting, right? And I will agree that it's definitely what makes it a better paced and more interesting show. But like, if you enjoy Lord of the Rings,
I do, and it's still like the dialogue
it is
tough.
the sweeping landscapey,
There's no-
high fantasy, big world building, and that is basically what Lord of the Rings is.
It doesn't
It's just not as concise.
sound like a Tolkien. When they talk, it doesn't sound like Tolkien. You know what I mean? Like when you
Yeah, I'll
when
agree
you
with that.
watch
I'll agree with that.
when you watch The Hobbit or you watch, I mean, even The Hobbit, for as bad as those movies are,
no, you're right. You have a point.
spots of those dialogue, you could be like, that's profound. It's in a way poetic. It's almost too many words for what you said, but it's Tolkien. Like there's a certain way of talking that he
Absolutely.
has,
There's an air to it.
and there's a certain way of speaking that his characters have that
And
they just
this
don't
show
capture at
definitely-
all.
I will agree that this show lacks it, and the only character who presents it in any way, shape, or form is Galadriel. Like when she speaks at certain points, not always, but
Yeah.
at certain points she has that fluency.
But it's
of
still
like,
tough for me because the
ooh.
original Galadriel was such a commanding presence, and I understand she's
kinda
not.
But this is
voicing
her becoming that.
Right,
character.
right.
Yeah.
She's not there
And
yet.
I'd say, and
So,
I haven't seen it,
I'll give her the time.
but
to
you saw
become
the
that
ending
character.
scene of the most recent episode where like the ships were sailing off and she joined the ship.
Yeah, as soon as
There's a
like,
very commanding presence to her in that scene. It's like, ooh, this feels like Galadriel that I know, and like the men observing her in that way.
Right,
really
we
had
just
that
haven't seen her in
reminiscence.
that environment yet, which I'll give it because
So
like
this is why I'm
she's
so
been
hyped because
by herself most of the
they
show.
did have a preview come out the next day about on Saturday, and it was just like, and it showed like the image of Sauron like walking up, like it kind of showed in the first episode
Mhm.
where it like previewed him with the orcs around him back in
Mhm.
the beginning of the Second Age. So it showed that, and then it said evil reveals itself, and then it was saying like next episode, like Friday, whatever, right?
Mm.
So for me, like Adar was my big hook of like,
shit is
who is
not
this guy?
popping off. I just.
I mean, it's not gonna
convinced.
pop off for you. It'll pop
Bro,
off for me. It'll
bro,
pop off for me.
I do not think shit is. If I have to
It'll
see
pop off
one
for
more,
me.
how much are the hobbits in the most recent
Oh
show
my
season?
God.
Or,
A good portion.
no.
Yeah, they were in.
No,
well,
the whole
hang on. In episode 4, there was very few. Episode 5, there was a lot more. So yeah,
Bro, I
There's
just-
it
so
keeps like
much.
it's like
They-
it's like side
they,
C
they
story.
don't need to be there until they convince me otherwise. The hobbits have no.
It's gonna be. It's the Harfoots
contribution to-
first off.
It's gonna be
They're
worth
hobbits.
it. Yeah, they're hobbits.
They hobbits.
They're hobbits, but they're not even fun. They don't drink. They just travel around and be lame.
Yeah, yeah. There will be. Some
We can
ex-
drink the whole town
I mean,
dry.
really, the whole thing with the
Lions
fucking
lost
hobbits
when
is
you're
not that they're hobbits. It's that they have the
lions
stranger, and who the fuck is?
They're
the
like the
stranger?
traveling Mormons. They're just fucking boring.
Yeah, but they have the stranger, and that's what makes them interesting. Is that
Bro,
we want to
the
know who the stranger?
The
stranger's
stranger just
barely
babbles about.
accurate.
If I wanted to go see that, I'll go downtown under a bridge.
Let's talk about Gandalf
The
like
stranger, the stranger is literally fucked up wolves and hurt the little girl like 3 times.
Right.
That's pretty
Yeah,
much
he
been
did-
He
it.
broke.
did-
He
he
broke
did
the
hurt her
dude's
again.
leg,
Yeah.
and
He
then
hurt
they
her
almost had to
again.
leave him behind. That was pretty wild.
Like so far, I'm just starting to understand. Hobbits are just there to be like, don't do this.
Don't depress us.
Oh, no, don't.
Don't
Put us in
depress
labor
me.
camps.
Oh,
That's
no,
Sauron.
You were gonna hurt.
That's what they did in the book. They
You're not
fucking
wrong.
enslaved all the hobbits.
Yourself, but now
See,
you're
and that's, like,
hurting me.
They missed out on the movies too. Like they don't ever like.
But
have
I
the
like it in
threat.
the movies only because it would kind of take away from a little bit of the victory if at the
Yeah.
end Frodo comes back and then has to deal with the Shire and that's how it is in the book. It's a little bit of almost like
Yeah, the Shire's fucked when he gets back, right?
yeah, the Shire is being run by one of the orcs from I think it's Isengard. I think they invaded the Shire at some point,
Yeah,
and so they like took over and enslaved the hobbits, and then so
but then you can have
all
a
the
whole
hobbits-
happy ending.
the
with
four
eagles.
hobbits get together and they liberate the Shire, and that's but I don't really know because I've never really ridden that. I haven't read that passage in a long
You
time.
haven't written it yet.
I haven't written it. Yeah.
I'm
Tolkien
George.
Jr. Quick little small victory for film to wrap us up tonight, boys. There was an announcement of Deadpool 3 today.
Oh,
with
I
the
didn't see that.
return
Let's go.
of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the movie.
Oh,
So Hugh
okay.
Jackman reprises his role at least one more time.
Yeah,
That's
let's
yeah,
ride.
yeah.
That is a 10 out of 10.
Broncos, let's
Nation.
ride.
Yeah,
Broncos country, let's
That's right.
ride,
And on
baby.
Another episode of the One to Ten
Love you guys.
Podcast. Goodbye,
See you
guys.
later,
See you,
boys.
boys.